All right. Good morning, self. That was a good one. So, feeling good this morning. Had a very nice long weekend. Me and Devin just really relaxed. We didn't do too much. We played a lot of pickleball. Phoebe, don't poop, please. Hey, where are you going? Where are you running from? Go potty. That's a good bird. We didn't do so much. We just hung out, really. We went to bed by basically 11 every night and woke up by 7:30, which was really nice and refreshing to do over the weekend. Yesterday, I did a lot of studying. I was working on my Obsidian database. I finished my journaling. So yesterday was a good day. Pretty relaxing. And I'm very excited for this week. This morning, I woke up at 6:30. Excited to just start up the week. And, do another week of the thing that I love. I felt a lot of gratitude this morning for being able to wake up and work for myself today and go for a walk outside, enjoy nature, listen to the birds, check out real estate in my village. So overall, very good vibes. Immaculate, I might say. So let's jump right into Friday's action. So on Friday, we trended down in the morning. Right as we opened up, I took 2 losses. Neither one were really good trades. And then I caught a short here and I exited down here. And then I caught a long here and exited up here. And I was finished after that point. My 2 trades that were really good were taken around 30 minutes into the market open, or a little bit before that. But I felt like I had a really good grasp on the market after the open. And then I did sim, and kind of the same thing happened where at the beginning of the day I took some losses and then I started taking wins. So let's be aware of that potential pattern today and trade if we have confidence, obviously, in what's happening at the open. But if not, then it's okay to not be participating. Okay. Strongest attributes. I was able to recognize the second scenario my plan was playing out even after taking a loss. I was quick to turn the tank around and get short, then I managed to trade perfectly. Although I was looking for shorts on the rally back up, I did not act because of the movement and context, and chose to protect myself and wait, something I have struggled with before. Yeah, when I reviewed that video, it was pretty perfect. But the main thing is that I kind of left the idea of shorts and started going for longs, and shorts still did seem to win. But I did catch a nice move back to the IBF because I was expecting some potential continuation of 4100. But I know Tom was taking shorts at the IB. So it just wasn't my location, which doesn't necessarily mean I need to flip long. It means that it's just not time to act, and maybe it's just not the right location, but the context is similar. When context may be shifting, I refer to the Edge Pro X chart. Nice job. Yeah, I remember that I was reviewing the higher time frame chart. That's something that I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of this morning. Price rallies to 82, nearly hitting the IBH. I have no actions unless it is hit. I state how we are creating value below the IBH, which may be a sign that we are building strength to test. I state liquidity sitting at the high. Price stop picks the IBH. Oh, this actually, I believe, should have went in the behavioral observations. Okay. My weakest attribute. At the open, I am not sure what to expect during an unfinished auction the prior day. I need to do some research. I then missed the very clear-cut selling structure at 84 due to a large bias I have for a test of 4100. My mind is not open to the idea of price failing there, so I do not see the signs in the pre-market and do not see the selling structure. Yeah, the pre-market on Friday gave very big indications of what may happen when the market opens. So that's something that I will be putting my focus towards. The prior few auctions to the market opening for potential context. And yeah, I intended on making more parts of my catalog, but I got sucked into Obsidian trying to figure out how to use DataView to search for everything. So now I have an excerpt taken from a long misalignment, which was my second trade. It's the part that talks about how I could have made the right play. I believe I am too zoomed in on the smaller fractal, and I have a very large belief that 4100 will be tested. I believe I could have made the correct play by recognizing the activity before the market opened that showed 83 was too high with a lot of sell icebergs. Knowing this, I would have been more objective to 84 acting as resistance. Good point, Nick. Seeing the market through the lens of my plan, not the auction, expectations not matching reality. Yeah, so kind of a little bit more blind to market context because I have very strong conviction in one side of the plan, so it doesn't really allow me to see what's happening clearly. I ignore signs of what's right in front of me on the chart because of what I think is going to happen. Changes to my decisions. The last auction of the ETH session matters in this scenario. Keep my eyes open for this type of behavior. Improvements to my mental state. When I have a strong belief in something, understand that I have a very strong belief and that it has the ability to blind me if it is not working out. Okay, so if I have a very strong belief in something occurring, then I need to understand that that strong belief also comes with blind spots. That'll help me remain doubtful, objective, all the things that are extremely important of being successful in trading. So, don't smother my own confidence in a play, but understand that if I have a lot of confidence, it also could lead to overconfidence. Summary lesson. Align my expectations with reality. 84 was a level to watch for behavior. Just because a level was touched does not mean price broke through it. Right? So all the levels we observe, they're levels to observe for behavior. Like on Friday, we were seeing a ton of stop picks where price would pick above and then it would fall directly back into the range. And even though I always reference stop picks, I think I'm starting to see it in a new light. Or maybe I used to see it in that light and then I moved away from it. Now I'm back here. But either way, that's what a stop pick should look like. And there were many scenarios of it on Friday. So that's another thing that I will be conscious of. Recurring patterns. I took profit well over the last 2 days. Today, the targets were more clear, to be fair. Yeah, so it was kind of a trending market, so it was easier to take profits at my locations. Obviously, that will be different if we're in extreme balance. Multiple times we see a stop pick above location where price immediately falls back into range. I cannot perceive this behavior quick enough in the moment to see what may happen. Observations. At the open, I notice I am hovering over the sell button when the price breaks above VPOC, and when price breaks above VPOC, I'm hovering over the buy button. Is this sort of behavior in alignment with a particular plan? If I am casually switching my behaviors like that, maybe it's better to sit on hands. Good idea. I did a really great job of recognizing the potential context change to exit my runner. I was narrating well in the moment. Yeah, so that's about 30 minutes into the open. Things kind of shake out. So we want to have high confidence and conviction in our plays today. So right now, I feel like I'm maybe still waking up a little bit. Phoebe. So it's acceptable to let the market shake out before I act if I feel that way. But if I have a lot of conviction and I see something that is catching my eye, and the risk reward is there and it's aligned with my plan, then there's absolutely no reason to not take it. My goals. Continue to work on tactical knowledge of opening ranges and pre-market plans to further my tactical knowledge. Okay. Continue to couple my tactical work with massaging out kinks and biases that do not allow me to read the context, the chart objectively. Continue to use high time frame chart to guide me as a storyteller through the actions of the market. Those are all very good goals, especially the higher time frame context. So I will be keeping a very close eye on the higher time frame context, because since I've started doing that, I noticed big improvements in my mental game. We want to be trading in vetted locations. There's no need to take trades if they're outside of what is the statistical edge of my strategy, because if it can't be backed with statistics according to my strategy, then it doesn't matter if I make or lose money. Well, it matters if I lose money, but if I make money, then it's not something that I could rely on, so it's not important. Wait for pullbacks to the volume at location. Wait for clear structure to arrive before taking a trade. All right, I'll be back. GG. All right. So, currently, we have a very weak low here at 40.47. And if we breach this low, then we're very likely to see 40.30. If the market can't catch a bounce at 40.30, then it's very likely to see 40.03. Essentially, we're looking to see if the market is going to be responsive at the open, and if it will reach 40.66. If it stalls out before, we're very likely to fall back and beam towards 40.30. If it begins to find value at that area, then the target, and it lifts from 40.66, and the target is 4100. Although we're leaning towards the downside. We just saw a stop pick to break the low here. Okay, so let's have patience. So FT says he's expecting initiative selling at the open because he's not seeing buyers step in, and we just broke the low. So let's see if that plays out. We're going to be paying attention to the chart and not just what's in my head. So we're seeing the selling happen. Coming into the open. High volume at 50. Overnight volume point of control. Here we are, we open up. We're seeing responsive buying up to 50. We see VPOC shift. We're seeing how we respond to 50 right now. Still responsive buying. Liquidity steps in. Still continuing. Couldn't really continue there. We see another VPOC migration. Make sure that's up and going. Okay, so we see an impulse. VHVN price check kind of falling out, it looks like. We'll see if VWAP starts acting as resistance. So we see VWAP acting as resistance. So it looks like I just got one ticked. And stopped. We're testing the high here. That was the short there. Stopped. All right, so that should not be a trade. I mean, I guess it could be, but have to be scaled by here, which we don't really want to see. I mean, which is not really possible. Previous low day up at 66. So we couldn't touch the overnight low. 89 stops up there. $11 stops. That liquidity pulls. auctioning up at the high. Yeah, so we see rounding top, but we hold here, but then we're rounding again. So now we're breaking towards VPOC. I think we have to have our stop there. And then we'll target the overnight low. We see liquidity and an iceberg step in. Still holding here. So we get a scale. Okay, so we test here. And we're seeing kind of a low volume grind. We'll see if it has the strength to continue or if it's gonna continue higher. We're above 40.50 and the overnight volume point of control. And we're still seeing this low volume grind, but we held the auction here. We'll see if we hold it again. We want to see these levels give and the overnight volume point of control give, and then see 50 start resolving as resistance. We have news coming out in 7 minutes, let's not forget. Okay, so we fall out. Little double bottom. And this is a weak low. Testing the auction here. Pretty quick rejection, but we'll see how it responds to all this volume after breaking out above. So price is kind of straddled. Looks like we may find some continuation. We're back above these levels. Testing this volume. This guy pulls. We see some adding here. Up on the outside edge. And it says too high. Now we'll see if this area is too low. So that was too low. Now we'll see if this is also too low. We broke the high. Little selling structure here. News coming out in 3 minutes. So, don't want to get involved in any trades. Looks like my stop will be taken. There it is. Some buying coming in. Looks like a potential to continue. This is a pivotal area to test. And we don't see any buyers showing up here yet. I think some people might get involved at 43, 0943. Because they find out early. Tapped to the previous low day. Did not take out stops. That's a rejection. So this is a short, but not with news coming out. Another shorting structure. News in 1 minute. Book is going black. Break the low here, retesting the volume.
Sell stocks.
So news comes out and we come down. Testing the 52. Holding the lines here. We're breaking. We're testing the volume lower. Let's see if we want to break this area or if we want to hold it. Break to the upside. So we just made a higher low. And now we're starting to rip. We take the high, previous high day, stops. Testing the volume here. Test the volume here. Not breaking here. I'm starting to have a kind of a long bias because of how we held that low and whatever. We see buyers lifting from 50. We're testing the low here. Now we're starting to test the low. We break. Very quick. Have to break this 48 zone. That was a slight break there. Slight VPOC migration. Liquidity stepping in both sides. Want to see this volume break. And then we have overnight low. Okay, we're risk neutral.
Sell stocks. Sell stocks.
There's my first target. Open line here. Testing the open. 2 stops. Selling structure. We break the low. We're looking for 44-ish for another potential entry. So we're auctioning below the low. And we're breaking. So this turns into some potential. But there's a lot of liquidity stepping in.
Sell stops.
Stops getting taken.
Sell stops.
Pull back to the volume. So 47 is above the structure. Above, we expect to test up higher. High volume node here that we're testing. Okay, so I get stopped. 173 stops. 5 stops. So we're looking to see if there's going to be a failure from this location. Have to wait for structure. Big battle. Big battle. Probably could have waited. Still a short. And then we have the targets in the same location. FT said warning the shorts. Yeah, so we have this very strong impulse. If I would have entered up here, I would have felt a lot more comfortable. I have to have confidence in myself. It's frustrating. It's alright. I don't want it to come out in a negative way. So we hold the low here. FT says, so the sequence, open below range, unable to get back into range. Remain below FSV WAP. Rotations down, expanding up over up rotations. Short the pullback. Look for a fixed scale. Look for overnight stat scale. Look for 6-point rotation scale or target. So we held the low here, and now looks like we're again failing. 4049 is now key. Yeah, so this would have worked. 46 to 40. But waiting for a pullback would also give me confidence. This is becoming a weak low. We broke the low.
Sells talks.
A lot of liquidity
Sells
stacked
talks.
up. News in 1 minute. $600 stops down there. Testing this area. A warning if we get back up in here. Some decent buying. So we're still holding below the low. Here's the news. We break the low. And we're continuing down. Warning to shorts does not mean exit. It's a rookie mistake right there. Here's a pullback to the little high volume node. So we broke, and then we held, and then we just held again. Now we just broke again. And we're breaking higher. 43 could potentially become VPOC. And then 47 is potential VWAP to VPOC, but I think if we're going to see this work out, it would be a VPOC migration. Yeah, so that definitely did look like a short opportunity. We just tapped the volume here. That lower edge of it. It's funny how that works. Yeah, FT is in short. So he took that short. And I couldn't hold on to it. Let's see how we're performing. So we're down a little. Yeah, I got stop picked like... So we break, and now we tap this lower volume. We'll see how we react here. Still potential for this to tap this volume. We tap the high here, and then we test the volume here, and now we're breaking high. So that low is currently holding. Little LVN here. Yeah, I definitely feel a little frustrated. But let's just forget about it. And let's just pretend like we're starting fresh. So we break this auction. Now we're testing here. We're back auctioning up here. So now if we break here, which we did, and we hold this, then we're very likely to come up here. Or we could fail from this location. That's another potential short. We break this low and we test this one. So what we're seeing on a higher time frame is we broke low and then we rip up high, and now we're auctioning above this low, but we'll see. It's getting weak. If it gives, then we're likely to see 33. If it breaks up higher, then potential for a decent lift, I would say. So we pick here, test here, but now we're seeing it lift back up to the high. This LVN is separating the auction. So anything could happen at this moment. Okay, we're back auctioning here. We're at the high of it. High volume node. And we're above it. We just took the swing there. So we picked this high, and then we tapped the volume here. Some strong selling. Hopefully into our scale. Or not. All right. And we're looking for 33-ish. Yes, if the sellers remain as strong as they appear, I'd expect this rotation to end up another lower high against the 46 stock zone, developing day levels. Watching closely. Yeah, so if we're removed from here, then potential is the 46 stock zone, which aligns with VWAP and mid. And this low is supported, but if it breaks, we should see the 33. And then we'll target 4,000. So we're back down here. We'll see if it wants to give. So we see some heavy selling coming in, and we're testing the very lower edge of this range. We want to see selling come in and break that lower edge. It looks like it's starting to give, and then the low is at 36. So we broke the lower edge, but we are we cannot yet break this area. If it breaks, then we'll likely see our target. So it looks like it's coming back down. That's some heavy selling. And now this is the low here, just about. Some heavy selling coming back in to push below the low. Coming down, test the low. All right. We get our fill. We'll see if we catch a bounce at 30. And if we do, we could reasonably exit here. But if we do not catch a bounce, then we're expecting lower. We're not yet catching a bounce here. So we see 3 stops and then a break higher. But now we broke lower. So if we break above here, then I could exit. So we broke low, see large volume resting by itself, and then we break back up. So we'll see what happens in this area. The fractal is widening. Pushing the lower edge. Iceberg and liquidity lower.
Sell stops.
We broke, and that iceberg moves lower. Big battle here. LVN in this location. One stop up there. That's a selling structure. This is a potential short. Let's see if we made up for all those mistakes. We did. LVN is right above VWAP and VPOC. That would take out the stops from the prior swing. There's potential for a VPOC migration. All right, so we're back testing this auction here. So chop, break low, break high, selling structure. This would be a potential area to look to interact as well. Yes, worth noting, my anchored VWAP from the start of the year has just been breached at 40.38. First retest of that anchor VWAP since 120. So I get one ticked. I take a bad short here. This is not a good short. So that's my first mistake. I take another short. I get risk neutral and stopped. News comes out. I take a short. I get scaled and I get one target. I take another short and I pussy out. So that's a few good trades. 2 bad, 3 good. I don't know if this one's actually considered good. I think it's considered fine. So 3 good, 2 bad, 2 mistakes. but this really should have been something I hold. And then I take another good trade here. And now we've reached that really large target. We could refer to the plan from the morning. So on the initial test of 40.30, support from buyers, reversion towards yesterday's range to close. Alternatively, if 40.30 area is not rejected, I would be open to extension lower, the next target being 40.13. If that area is not supported, key target is 40.06. This is a pretty clear rejection here. From this volume. Pretty strong selling pressure coming in. It's pretty good looking. I have B to be set in 8 minutes. We might get an extension lower. So this LVN held at 37. See pretty large buying from this location. Buyers are supporting the 30 area. And this is now becoming a weak high, and this is becoming a weak low. So balanced conditions around 30. Important to note, context has changed intraday. Stop divergence. Push higher, pushing into the volume. $134 stops removed. $33 stops. When we take all these stops with stop divergence and we start pulling back like this, this is a trigger. Secure it. All right, we're risk neutral. Enter at 35.75. $31, so that's 5 points. 30.25. Yeah, that's about right. So we would do that, and then 13. Caution. Now as we are at this key 40-30 area, for those who watched the Trader Bite, we talked about how this is the edge of the balance range between 40-90 and 40-30. Yeah, so tight rotation here. We're in balance. This is my plan for balance. It's what I talked about, what I was struggling with. It's tight scales. So this is a little bit tighter than I would like, because it's only 4 points and I want 6, but I'm risking 2, so it's acceptable. And as we have the IB being set, it's very possible. Okay. It's very possible for the market to reach it. So this is the outer edge. So there's a lot of fuel below here. So we're set up to hold a runner if it breaks. So here we saw the stop pick. We see stop divergence. We see it pick and then come back into range. And this is true in all fractals. And this is just a balancing range by the lower edge. We break and then we pull back, so that's a short. And we're maybe seeing a little bit of continuation. We set a new low before the IB.
Sell stops.
Stops there. Because this guy moved lower, which we saw happen earlier. And we see liquidity get removed here. So that the last time we saw this, it reversed. Probably the same guy. So we're moving lower, but we see a grind. It's not very clean. Size hitting bid here. Size continues to hit the bid, but you can see that the bid is absorbing. Yeah. And a rally out of that location, like we saw last time with this happen. IB has been set. So I think now it becomes likely that we at least touch the IB. And we did see this impulse out and now a retest. We're kind of struggling to move out of this area, the lower edge of this small balance. Structure break here. Liquidity has been pulled from this location, so it has the ability to come down here. And this is also a high volume node. All right, so we're pushing. No test yet. This is actually a short to get scaled by the IB betting on continuation. We're getting tight here at the lower edge. So the IB was tested there, according to my EPX chart. We need to see sellers continue to be aggressive here. Not seeing the seller aggression come in. They're holding it down, but it doesn't look strong enough right now to push it. $119 stops. Push above here. Potential VPOC migration. If we do another 700 contracts there. Stop divergence. $23 stops. No location here. ES unable so far to get a meaningful rotation higher. Delta remains weak. Sellers remain the stronger hand. Adds credibility to the possibility of extending the low and potentially getting our extended target for 4006 singles at some point today. Repeat, warning to shorts. So John said the first thing, FT says warning to shorts. So we need a little more juice here to have a VPOC migration. So right as I said that it doesn't look strong enough, we get this bid, this buying on the ask. And, you know, it just didn't look aggressive. Like it pushed and then it comes back and then it's just like hanging out. The book is kind of slowing down. It gives the buyers the opportunity to potentially take over and move us away from that location. And we now have 2 distributions here. We have 3 total, separated by these LVNs. So as long as we're below here, then it's more likely that we immediately break the 30. And then on the higher time frame, we could still come up to the VWAP location and even 45 and then see it come back down. So we see the VPOC migration here. Coming to the outer edge. Strong buying, tapping the LVN, stops are above, including mine. Yeah, so I think I'm likely to be taken out here after seeing this. But this is also a selling structure, not too good of one, but we see stop divergence, break low, but then we have more stops up here. So that's a warning moment. And now we're basing up by the high. And that's not really what you want to see in a selling structure. Although we still are on the outer edge, so it doesn't mean that it can't work out this way. So we break the low. We see some selling coming in. Sellers are defending the outer edge here. ESRA poked through by a tick for that stat. So now we're pulling back. So this would be a selling structure with room to scale, but it's not my favorite. It would have worked. Selling increasing, breaking here. So we broke this auction, pull back to VPOC. This might have been something I would have taken like 6 months ago. Continue to see signs that the low is being defended, says FT. Yeah, this isn't really what you want to see. I think this is my bus stop.
Buy stocks.
There it is. VWAP to VPOC potential. I always get these scammers or like people trying to sell me something. Today's signal, BA. Calls. Buy 5 to 10 contract. Very good returns. And I said, my whole account is 5. Should I go all in? So, high volume node here. We're rejecting, but we're holding the LVN. And then we have swings at the mid. Up here. And more volume. LVN and then high volume node. This looks like a selling structure. So if it wasn't for the morning again, I would have been doing pretty decent today. But yeah, this is acceptable. I just got one ticked. This is terrible. Reactive. This is a good trade. I take this setup a lot right here. This is a really good trade, but I pussied out. This is a good trade. This is a good trade. FT says, don't fight this if you are short. So we already got the rotation. I don't think that's an invitation to get long. Although it does look like longs could work. Because this is potentially too low. This would be a long. Like right here. Click. There's also volume down here. You could enter here or in here. Then your scale is somewhere up here. Then you're holding, you have this obstacle, but I'd be holding for VWAP. Auctioning above. Liquidity flashing, but we break anyway. All right, well, I'm gonna go pickle. That was a good session. A little shaky. I'm feeling a bit like tired. Kind of hurt myself in the morning and then at the open, and a little bit difficult to get back on track. Have to, be resolved with my emotional state, which I was able to get to. But it wasn't really easy. Not gonna lie, it wasn't that easy. Like this, I really almost didn't take. And then this one, obviously. So, kind of shaky, but we pulled it off. All right, GG.